We are going to discuss about the chapter chemical reaction and equation. See here in this chapter what we are seeing, one is physical change, another is chemical change. What are physical change? Physical change mean the changes when we are changing the temperature, change of temperature or change of pressure. One state, physical state. In ninth you have studied physical states are what? Solid, liquid, gaseous. You have also studied about the characteristic of solid, less space, their definite volume, definite shape, liquid, definite shape, not definite shape but definite volume, gaseous, not definite shape, not definite volume. So when physical changes are take place, then that is called physical change. In this you can see there is composition of matter remains same. If you will see the physical change, what happen? The composition of matter doesn't change, they remain same. But in chemical change, what happen? Composition of matter will be changed, their bond will break, new bond, new compound they will form. So physical change and chemical change, there is difference. In physical change only states of matter change, solid to liquid, liquid to gaseous, gaseous to solid. Also you have studied in ninth, solid to liquid, that is called melting. In liquid to, that is called vaporization. You have studied in ninth. So physical change, actually physical change is also a generally a reversible process. Suppose you have taken ice, so at melting point it will change at 0 centigrade at 1 atm pressure. If you will see the solid, any ice will convert into the form of liquid when you will increase the temperature at 1 tm more than 0 centigrade. So that is physical change, the solid convert into liquid. Same process will happen if we change the temperature below than 0. The liquid convert in the form of, or water convert in the form of ice. So that changes which are reversible, where only composition are changing. Okay, they are not forming new compound, their property remains same. तो दैट इज कॉल्ड फिजिकल चेंज. उन्हें हम क्या कहते हैं बेटा? फिजिकल चेंज. वन इज केमिकल चेंज. इन केमिकल चेंज व्हाट आर हैपनिंग? न्यू कंपाउंड्स आर फॉर्म, their bonds break and they are forming the new compounds. They are generally not reversible, sometimes reversible. One चीज remember, जैसे for example when nitrogen and hydrogen mix ammonia, ammonia can break, they form nitrogen and hydrogen. ये कभी कभी रिवर्सिबल भी हो सकता है, ठीक है, बट जनरली वो कैसे होते हैं बेटा? रिवर्सिबल नहीं होते. अगर इफ टू एलिमेंट्स आर टू कंपाउंड्स, they are reacting and they are there is a chemical change takes place and new compounds are forming, तो they generally कैसे होते हैं बेटा? नॉन रिवर्सिबल. तो फिजिकल चेंज का मतलब क्या हो गया बेटा? कंपोजिशन ऑफ मैटर रिमेन सेम only when we are changing the temperature or pressure, the state solid to liquid, state of compound or state of elements change, that is called physical change. Chemical change, what happen? If composition of matter is changed, they are forming new compounds, their properties also change, generally they are non reversible. For example, जैसे मैं अभी आपको कहूँ बेटा, if milk converted into the curd, that is chemical change. Curd cannot be converted into milk. तो generally they are क्या होते हैं बेटा? non reversible. ठीक है, समटाइम्स मैंने एग्जांपल दिया कि रिवर्सिबल भी हो सकते हैं, बट इन केमिकल चेंज व्हाट हैपन? दे विल फॉर्म न्यू कंपाउंड्स और न्यू मिक्सचर्स और न्यू एलिमेंट्स, यू कैन से. तो सी हियर, if we talk about the chemical reaction, a chemical reaction in a process is a process in which some substance undergo bond breaking and are transformed into new substances by formation of new bonds. What are chemical changes? Chemical reaction. A chemical reaction is a process in which some substances undergo bond breaking and are transformed into new substance by formation of new bonds, that is called chemical reaction. मैं तुम्हें थोड़ा सा एग्जांपल भी दूंगा. जैसे मैंने भी बताया बेटा, जब फिजिकल चेंज की बात होती है तो आइस, व्हाट हैपन, आइस विल कन्वर्ट. आइस किस में कन्वर्ट होता है बेटा? लिक्विड फॉर्म. जैसे वाटर, वाटर का फिजिकल चेंज हो सकता है व्हेन टेम्परेचर इंक्रीजेस मोर देन 100 सेंटीग्रेड एट 1 atm. व्हाट हैपन, ये मोर देन 0 सेंटीग्रेड, more than 100 centigrade, 100 or 100 centigrade, water convert into steam. So these are the physical change. Chemical change, one example we can take when H2 mixed with Cl2, they form HCl. Hydrogen gas mixed with chlorine, the new compound form, new substance form, that is hydrogen chloride. So that is chemical change. Example of chemical change. What is chemical reaction? Chemical reaction is process in which some substance, their bond breaks and they transform into new compounds, new substance, that is called chemical reaction. Here you can say hydrogen gas. Hydrogen breaks into hydrogen atoms. Chlorine breaks into chlorine atom, and hydrogen and chlorine atom, they will react, or they will transform, they will mix, they will form hydrogen chloride, new substance hydrogen chloride is formed. So that is called chemical reaction. See here, reactants in chemical reactions, and the substance taking part. Here you can see hydrogen and chlorine, they are taking part in the reaction and they are forming what? Hydrogen chloride. So the substance taking part in the chemical reaction, that are called reactants. In this example, hydrogen and chlorine, they are reactants. And what are the products after the chemical reaction? When chemical reaction takes place between hydrogen and chlorine, a new compound has formed, एक नया compound form हुआ. So that compound is what? Hydrogen chloride. So this hydrogen chloride is known as products. ये जो hydrogen chloride होगा वो क्या होगा बेटा? chemical reaction में क्या होगा? product होगा. अच्छा, एक थोड़ा सा मैं यहाँ पर एक चीज और बताना चाहूँगा. एक होता है बेटा chemical reaction and one is nuclear reaction. ठीक है. In chemical reaction bonds breaks, they are forming new substance. ठीक है. इनमें outermost electron generally which are taking parts, outermost electron taking parts, but there is no change in the nucleus. या nucleus में कोई change नहीं होता. And parent atoms जो भी रहेंगे, they will unchange. In for example hydrogen and chlorine mixed, तो hydrogen atom will present in the products, chlorine atom will present in the products. ठीक है. They form new substance, new property may be there, but जो parent atoms हैं उनकी properties भी क्या होती है inside chemical reaction. chemical reaction में उनकी properties भी क्या होती है बेटा? composite रहती है, एक तरीके से तुम कह सकते हो exist करती है. One is nuclear reaction. एक आपका nuclear reaction होता है. In nuclear reaction atom will be change. वहाँ direct atom change होता है. ठीक है. They will form new substance by the changing of atom nucleus. वहाँ electrons नहीं, सीधा सीधा nucleus taking parts. ठीक है. That is called nuclear reaction. For example, uranium, when uranium is bombarded with the neutrons, so their uranium atom is splitting. Uranium atom is split हो जाता है बेटा, barium, krypton and 3 neutrons. ठीक है. तो दैट इज केमिकल चेंज. वो आपका सॉरी दैट इज न्यूक्लियर रिएक्शन. वहां पर न्यूक्लियस ऑफ रिएक्टेंट विल बी चेंज. ठीक है. तो दैट इज कॉल्ड न्यूक्लियर रिएक्शन. तो यहाँ पर भी आप ध्यान देना, केमिकल रिएक्शंस में ओनली आउटर मोस्ट इलेक्ट्रॉन्स पार्ट लेते हैं. यहाँ बॉन्ड ब्रेक होगा. बाद में आप पढ़ोगे बेटा कोवैलेंट बॉन्ड, फिर आयनिक बॉन्ड. तो दिस टाइप ऑफ बॉन्ड्स दे विल ब्रेक and they will form new substance, but parent atoms or parent nucleus and they will exist in the product also. लेकिन मैंने बताया बेटा न्यूक्लियर रिएक्शन में ऐसा नहीं होता. वहाँ पेरेंट एटम ही क्या हो जाता है? चेंज हो जाता है. मैं तुम्हें कुछ थोड़ा डिफरेंस भी आपको बताऊंगा बेटा केमिकल रिएक्शन और न्यूक्लियर रिएक्शन में. आफ्टर दैट व्हेन वी विल डिस्क्राइब द केमिकल रिएक्शन, तो मैं एक बार तुम्हें फुल डिफरेंस क्या क्या हो सकता है, डिफरेंस बिटवीन केमिकल रिएक्शन एंड न्यूक्लियर रिएक्शन. We can give one example of chemical reaction. Suppose hydrogen reacted with oxygen, they are forming water. This is the example of chemical reaction. Actually, in chemical reaction, how can you identify this is the chemical reaction? So some changes are, you can see there are some changes. One is what we can identify by the changes, change of color, change of temperature. There is change of you can say temperature, color, change of state. Sometimes one is what there is precipitation. In chemical reaction you can see precipitation, evolution of gas. ठीक है, तो these are the identification. ठीक है, by these changes we can see that there will be chemical reaction. तो कभी कभी आपको क्या मिलेगा बेटा, चेंज ऑफ कलर मिल सकता है, कभी चेंज ऑफ स्टेट, इवोल्यूशन ऑफ गैस मिलेगा, कभी कभी आपको प्रेसिपिटेशन होगा, कभी कभी आपका क्या होगा बेटा, हीट इवॉल्व होगी, चेंज ऑफ टेम्परेचर हो सकता है. तो ये सब आइडेंटिफिकेशन है किसके, केमिकल रिएक्शंस के. See here, we are talking about the chemical equation. What is chemical equation? The representation of chemical reaction in condensed form using chemical formula is called as chemical equation. बेटा किसी chemical equation को when we are using as a symbolic form, or you can say if you are condense that chemical reaction by using chemical formulas, तो that is called क्या कहलाता है बेटा, chemical equation. तो मैं एग्जांपल दूंगा कि if you take a blue color solution of copper sulfate, अगर तुम copper sulfate का एक blue color solution हमने लिया, blue colored solution of copper sulfate, if it reacts with zinc powder, इसको किससे रिएक्ट किया बेटा, बोलो, जिंक पाउडर. What happened? We have seen the aqueous solution of colorless zinc sulfate. They are forming zinc sulfate, and we have seen there is copper separated from the solution. एक हमने देखा बेटा, एक प्रैक्टिकल केमिकल रिएक्शन लिया कि ब्लू कलर कॉपर सल्फेट सोल्यूशन आई हैव टेकन and we have mixed zinc powder. What happened after some time, we have seen there is colorless zinc sulfate form and copper separated. So this chemical change we are writing in the chemical equation form. So what happened? Copper sulfate. If you are writing the formula of copper sulfate, copper sulfate CuSO4 reacted with zinc I have taken, they are mixing, they are reacted to each other. What they form? Zinc sulfate, ZnSO4, and they are forming copper. This will be the chemical equation for the given reaction. Copper sulfate mixed with zinc, they are forming a colorless zinc sulfate and copper will form. If you want to make the chemical equation more informative, अगर हम किसी chemical equation को और ज़्यादा informative बनाना चाहें, तो we can change, we can write down the state of the reactant and the state of the product. Here we will see the copper sulfate reacted with zinc. So this is copper sulfate and zinc is reactant. They are forming zinc sulfate and copper. So these are the products. If you want to make this chemical equation more informative, what we have to do, what we are doing, solid, if solid state, so we are writing S. If liquid state, we are writing L. If there is gaseous state, we are writing G. Sometimes gaseous state we are making arrow upward. For solid state we are making arrow downward. So downward and upward also if you are showing, okay. So if we are writing the state of reactants and product, so this equation becomes more informative. Sometimes some compounds are there which are the solution of water. वो वाटर के सोल्यूशन के फॉर्म में रहते हैं, तो देयर वी आर राइटिंग एक्वस सोल्यूशन. ये अगर वो सोल्यूशन फॉर्म में है बेटा तो हम क्या करते हैं वहां एक्वस सोल्यूशन फॉर्म, तो एक्यू राइटिंग इन द फ्रंट ऑफ दैट कंपाउंड और सब्सटेंस. तो हियर इफ यू वांट टू दिस रिएक्शन मोर इंफॉर्मेटिव, तो व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, कॉपर सल्फेट. मैंने बताया बेटा कॉपर सल्फेट क्या है, तुम्हारा सोल्यूशन है, एक्वस सोल्यूशन है. तो हियर यू विल राइट AQ प्लस जिंक. जिंक आपका क्या है बेटा सॉलिड स्टेट है, तो यू विल राइट हियर S. जिंक सल्फेट फिर से आपका एक्वस सोल्यूशन बना, यू कैन राइट हियर AQ. और मैंने बताया बेटा कॉपर जो है वो अगेन सॉलिड फॉर्म है, तो यू कैन राइट हियर S या समटाइम्स यू कैन एरो डाउनवर्ड. तो ये थोड़ा सा और इंफॉर्मेटिव हो गया बेटा. कॉपर सल्फेट एक्वस सॉल्यूशन, जिंक रिएक्टेड, ZnSO4 एंड कॉपर फॉर्म. थोड़ा कभी कभी हम क्या करते हैं कि वी कैन गिव द कलर्स नेम आल्सो. अगर आपको और इंफॉर्मेटिव बनाना है, जैसे मैंने बताया बेटा कॉपर सल्फेट कौन सा सॉल्यूशन है बेटा, ब्लू कलर, तो यू राइट हियर ब्लू कलर सॉल्यूशन. जिंक पाउडर, ठीक है, पाउडर फॉर्म यहाँ पर आप चाहो तो थोड़ा लिख सकते हैं, ठीक है. जिंक सल्फेट आपका कलरलेस सॉल्यूशन है, तो यू कैन राइट हियर कलरलेस, नो कलर, एंड हियर कॉपर दैट इज प्रेसिपिटेटेड इन सॉलिड फॉर्म्स. अच्छा कभी कभी हम क्या करते हैं बेटा, हीट वगैरह अगर इवॉल्व हो रही है, हीट एब्जॉर्ब हो रही है, तो यू कैन राइट ऑल्सो द हीट इक्वेशन. हीट, if heat is evolved तो plus heat in product, if heat absorbed तो in reactant you can represent plus heat. For example मैं जैसे आपको बताऊं बेटा कि अगर कैल्शियम ऑक्साइड रिएक्टेड विद वाटर, अगर कैल्शियम ऑक्साइड किससे रिएक्ट करता है बेटा, वाटर से, तो व्हाट हैपन, दे आर फॉर्मिंग कैल्शियम हाइड्रोक्साइड. Calcium oxide reacted with water, they are forming calcium hydroxide. So in this reaction you can see a heat evolved, very much heat evolved. So this heat if you are writing here, you will make the reaction more informative. आप heat यहाँ पर plus heat या you can, if absorption of heat, the heat you are writing left hand side. So this by writing the heat you can make the chemical equation more informative. See sometimes what happen, a reaction takes place only presence of some other substance. कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि एक रिएक्शन विदाउट अदर सब्सटेंस दे आर नॉट स्टार्टेड, ठीक है. द एक्सटर्नल सब्सटेंस ओनली दे आर नॉट टेकिंग पार्ट इन द केमिकल रिएक्शन, only they can accelerate or they can start or they can fast or rate of reaction they can increase, only that is called catalyst also. For example if vegetable oil reacted with hydrogen, ठीक है, तो क्या होता है बेटा, वनस्पति घी will form. तो we have seen that we have to take the temperature. How much temperature we have to take? We have to take temperature 60 degrees centigrade. And in the presence of nickel catalyst, only in the presence of nickel catalyst that reaction will start. So what are the catalyst? Yeah, what are the condition at which chemical reaction started? That will retain up or down to the arrow. So by using of catalyst representing here, we can make chemical equations more informative.